Good afternoon. Welcome. It's the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you till around 5 o'clock. Till around 5 o'clock. Of course, as usual, I'm checking out Wyatt. I'm checking out Wyatt Live. I want to say the actual name of the show because I want y'all to get into the habit of hearing it and checking it out. And again, I say this, I keep telling y'all this all the time. First, I like talk. I used to say talk radio, but some of the stuff I listen to is not on radio. I like talk. I like listening to people exchange ideas, whether I agree. Like I'm in the morning when I drive to work, I'm listening to what's his name? Scott Sloan. Scott Sloan. I'll be mad. Not mad, but I'll be disagreeing with dude. Like, how could you think that? But one thing I give him is sometimes he'll explain his thought processes. And sometimes I can pinpoint where he got it wrong. And I'll be thinking, come on, Scott, that don't even make sense. Like your logic is seriously flawed. And I can see where you're flawed at. I listen, of course, to Lincoln Ware. We already know his logic be flawed sometimes. I like Lincoln. I'm just teasing him a little bit. But I listen to Lincoln Ware. Yes, sometimes his logic is flawed as well. Even if I agree with him, I'd be like, I agree with you, Lincoln, but that logic was jacked up. Like that don't make sense. It don't. I'm glad you ended where you ended, but the logic in terms of you getting there made no sense. Made no sense. And then usually after that, I listen to Wyatt Live. Wyatt Live, he comes on I watch him on Facebook, but he's on Facebook, he's on YouTube. I'm not sure all the platforms he's on. I watch him on Facebook. And I encourage people, if you like the exchange of ideas, if you like listening to people talk, whether you agree with them or whether you don't, sometimes, which I think we proved when we did the whole King and I thing. I agree with Wyatt. We probably agree on more stuff than we disagree. I don't always agree with how he got there. I'd be like, just from a logical standpoint, like, I want to test your logic there. Because your logic, because he does the same thing. He'll run down, hey, if this is this, and then if that's that, and if that's that, then this is this, then you come to this. And I'll be thinking, no, that's not that. You got that part wrong. I'm glad you landed where you landed. But you got that part wrong. Or at least, I guess I should say, I disagree with it. It doesn't make logical sense. The leap that you made there doesn't make sense to me logically. Because I think I said about all three of them. Like, they be wrong. I don't understand. It makes no logical sense how you went from here to here to me. But listen to people. You can get information from people. People have facts that you didn't know. People have information that you didn't know, and people have insight. So like, I knew that. I already knew that. Oh, well, I mean, even though I knew that, I didn't know that people actually looked at it that way. So you learn something even if it's not factual. So I do that all the time. So I encourage people, listen to points of view that you don't necessarily agree with. Listen. Try to understand the logic behind it. But yeah, I'm of course, as always, I can't say it's always, but most times I'm checking out Wyatt before I go on. I'll be hesitant to go on while he's still on, because I'll be like, not that, I'm going to take his listeners or nothing like that. But I'll be like, I don't want to, overlap with him sometimes. But I know there are people who at 3 o'clock, you said you was going to be on at 3 o'clock. Where you at? So I don't know why I use that voice, because that's how y'all sound to me when y'all say that. Anyway, I'm here. And welcome to the show. Let's get into the hellos. That's an important part of the show as far as I'm concerned. Oh, let me see. What happened? Oh, my comments went all the way back to yesterday. Hold on. Scroll. Get to today. Get to today. That was yesterday. That was yesterday. Man, how did I get that far? All right, here we go. Here we go. Terry. Terry. Good. Hold on. Let me turn Wyatt down. That was Wyatt. Y'all heard it in the background. Let me turn Wyatt down. Good afternoon, Terry. Good afternoon. Checking in from downtown. We got Miss Pittsburgh. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Miss Pittsburgh. We got Karen. Karen, good afternoon. Checking in from Westwood. Princess Flower in the house. Hello, everyone, and hello to you, Princess Flower. We got Sierra in the house. Happy Wednesday from Boston. Happy Wednesday, Sierra. Pat, good afternoon, Pat. Good afternoon, Pat. Checking us out from Westwood. Miss Pittsburgh said Wyatt going at it with drop. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. Carolyn. Carolyn, good afternoon, Carolyn. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining. We got Anthony in the house. Anthony, good afternoon. He said the wood in the house. We got McConnell. McConnell says good afternoon, everyone from Fairfield. Good afternoon, McConnell. Good afternoon, and Fairfield is in the house. Erica. Erica, Redding checking in. Redding, good afternoon, Erica. Thank you for checking in. Pamela. Pamela Kinney. She in the house. I think Pamela been picking with me all day. Pamela been picking with me all day. No, I'm just playing. She ain't really been picking with me all day. North Avondale checking in. Good afternoon, Pamela. We got Regina. Regina in the house. Good afternoon, Regina. Color Me Bert. I can't put yours up because those stickers that don't allow me to put those up. But hi. He or she. I don't remember. Are you a male or a female? Or non-binary? I don't even know what that means. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. But good afternoon. Thanks for joining the show. Jason checking in from Fairfield. Good afternoon. We got Mary. Mary. White Oak. See, you ain't got to put it up there. Oh, you did put it up there. I'm sorry. I didn't even see it. Mary White Oak in the house. We got Breenie. My sister Sabrina checking us out from North College Hill. Andrea in the house. Downtown checking us out. Daryl in the house. Daryl said, what up, E and the AE chat crew? I know you're going to go in on drop. I'm not. He did come out swinging. But that's all right. I'm not going to go in on him. I might mention it. But I'm not going to go in on him. We got Blade, a.k.a. John, a.k.a. Heineke, a.k.a. Boost, a.k.a. Anthony Holloway, a.k.a. Oh, it's another one that I know of. But he says, who make you judge, Jim? He speaks like Solomon Grundy. Like we got a.k.a. Solomon Grundy. Who make you judge, Jim? And he's taken to calling me Jim. I don't even know what that means, but it is absolutely hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. I laugh every time I see it because I don't know if it's supposed to be some sort of an insult or what. I have no idea how he just came up with Jim out of nowhere. And he only says it when he's trying to get under my skin. But it is so stupid. It is so stupid. You just call somebody Jim out of nowhere with no context, anything. It's the stupidest thing. So it makes me laugh. I don't know why he does it. I would be interested to hear, Blade, if you want to put up why you started calling me Jim. Oh, he just out of nowhere started calling me Jim. It's the funniest thing ever. But good afternoon, Blade. Good afternoon. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put the chat up. He just out of nowhere started calling me Jim. which is hilarious to me. Oh, let me stop even thinking about it. Oh my goodness, it's hilarious. Um, and who makes me judge me? I make me judge of what is logical to me. I judge what is logical to me. Oh boy. We got Dwayne in the house. He says, "Good afternoon, everyone from Mount Airy." So Mount Airy in the house. Um, Kim, Kim in the house. Good afternoon from Fairfield. Good afternoon, Kim. Good afternoon. We got Miss Pittsburgh. I think I said good afternoon to Miss Pittsburgh, didn't I? Early, but either way, good afternoon, Miss Pittsburgh. Cleopatra. Cleopatra Jones, good afternoon. Checking in from the universe. I thought that was somebody else's thing. Somebody else was the one who said checking in from the universe. But all right, good afternoon. You can be in the same universe or a different one. Who knows? There's a multiverse. Um, Brenda Fairfield checking in. Good afternoon, Brenda from Fairfield. Good afternoon. We got Shauna, also from Fairfield. What is that, like 3 or 4 people from Fairfield? I know what, McConnell's in Fairfield, Shauna's in Fairfield, Brenda's in Fairfield. Who else is in Fairfield? I can't pull it up right now. But yes, good afternoon. Terry, good afternoon from E Town. E Town, all right. Good afternoon, Terry. Kenneth says great day. Powerful people, West Side. So we got the West Side in the house. Daryl says y'all need to quit BSing and get that King and I podcast back going. The streets is hungry for it. Feed the streets. Regina says I don't see the comments. My bad. My bad. But I got them up now. I got them up now. Phyllis. Phyllis, good afternoon. Checking in from the Camp, Washington. The Camp, Washington. Never heard it referred to as the Camp, Washington. But all right. Good afternoon, Phyllis. Color Me Bird clears it up. I'm a female. Sorry about the sticker. Well, it's all right. It don't bother me none. I just can't put it up on the screen. Brent. Brent says, good afternoon. He's checking in from Dallas, Texas. We got Darren checking in from Madisonville. Veronica. Veronica says, hello, everyone. All right. Solomon Grundy. Yes. Yes, he talks like he types. I guess I should say like Solomon Grundy talks. Stephanie. Stephanie in the house. Stephanie says hello. Good afternoon, Stephanie. Phyllis says love in the backdrop. I appreciate it. Is this Steban? Steban? Good afternoon, Westwood. Westwood in the house. Good afternoon, Steban. I hope I didn't butcher that too bad. Let me take that off. Steban. That's what I would say. I hope that's not butchered too bad. If you could spell it out phonetically for me, or tell me I was correct. We got Black Not Democrat Drop Squad 52 from California. All right. Good afternoon, Drop Squad 52. Good afternoon, Drop. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say all that. But good afternoon to you. Got Scott. Scott in the house. He says hello to everyone from West Walnut Hills. Going tomorrow to Georgia to check on his house. Hopefully it's still there. And good afternoon. LaDonna from East Price Hill. All right. LaDonna, good afternoon. Jeannie in the house. Jeannie in the house. Replying, she's replying to Phyllis Mitchell. She's saying good afternoon. If I would have read all of that before I put it on the screen, I wouldn't have put that little private conversation all up on the screen. Brent says the Legion of Doom runs deep. Yes. Yes. Turn the tables on all of it. Laughing is what you should do. It's just hilarious how you just start calling somebody cheap with no context. He'd been doing it for a while, and initially, it didn't really click that he was talking about me. I honestly thought he was talking to someone else initially. And then I thought maybe he's setting up a different personality. So there's going to be a different one. There's going to be a Jim that he starts commenting as and misspelling and completely demolishing the English language. But then he started like responding to my comments and then saying, because y'all know how it is. Sometimes, maybe y'all don't know how it is. Maybe I'm more blocked than anyone else. But people say stuff. I'll make a comment and then people will respond to it, but they'll be talking to somebody else who got me blocked. So I will have put up a comment and then people respond to my comment. And while I think the people who I have blocked can't see my comment, they can see other people's responses to my comment. So then they respond to the response to my comment, and then somebody will respond back to them like, "You're right, Vernon." And I be thinking, Vernon, and then I remember, oh, Vernon's still mad at me for making him think about other people suffering by bringing it home. So he blocked me. So he may have said something in this thread that I can't see. So initially I thought, well, not initially, but eventually I thought, he's responding to somebody in the chat named Jim, who apparently has me blocked and I can't see what they're saying. And then I realized, I think it was yesterday I realized, he's calling me Jim. Why did y'all make me start back thinking about that? It's the stupidest thing ever. And that is what makes it so funny to me, because it's so stupid. But I will start responding when he talks to Jim, because I don't care about you calling me by the name Jim. It don't bother me even a little bit. It don't bother me even a little bit. So I'll respond to it. He got me all choked up. We got Crystal in the house. Crystal checking us out from College Hill. Good afternoon, Crystal. Jeannie. Did I go backwards? I thought I said good afternoon to Jeannie. But maybe it's two Jeannies or whatever. But either way, Jeannie. This Jeannie. Jeannie Mulholland. Mulholland. In my mind, that's how you're supposed to say that. Mulholland. Good afternoon. Checking in from Covington, Kentucky. Kentucky checking us out. We got Mike Ballard from Woodline. Good afternoon, Mike. Daryl says, I'm near Fairfield. Does that count? I want y'all to, all of the Fairfield people, get together and do like a group watching thing. Like rent out a space and invite all of the Fairfield people. Y'all all come together, get a big screen, put me on the big screen, surround sound speakers. 7.2. Surround sound speakers. We not really gonna make great use of it, but I just want to know that I was on a 7.2 surround sound. And y'all can all get together and watch as a group. Good afternoon, Daryl. We got Regina. She said she on her way to Fairfield. You can't beat that. Jason checking in from Earth. See, I say Earth. That white people talk. It's Earth. ERFF. Earth. Good afternoon, Jason. Myosha checking us out from the A1. That means the rich part of Avondale. Good afternoon, Myosha. Got Sean in the house. Sean in Atlanta. Just dodging gay dudes all the time. You just drive around. Oh, there's a gay dude. Oh, another gay dude. You gotta be, be aware. It is a lot of gay dudes in Atlanta. It's a lot of gay dudes in Atlanta. I feel kind of bad for the women of Atlanta. Let me not even start that again. Women gonna be mad at me. I take it back. Took it all back. I never even said it. Tessie, good afternoon, Tessie. How you doing? Thank you for joining the show. We got Rick Owens Hey, E-Man and everyone from Coleraine, cutting grass. All right. Can't beat that. Good afternoon, Rick. We got David in Hebron, not working for Amazon. He's just in Hebron. Good afternoon, David. Uh, let's see. Go through any more. Tanya. Good afternoon from North Avondale. All of these north, south, east, west, this. Oh, all right. I did not see the video of Mitch McConnell today. He had another freeze moment. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. But I didn't start nothing. I didn't start anything. Um, let's see. We got Raven. Got a celebrity in the house. I like when we have celebrities in the house. My mom used to say when you got company over, you be acting, showing out. That was the term. You showing out because you got company. So that means I had to show out a little bit. Can't make my mama a liar. We got a celebrity in the house. Raven. She says this is true. They do it all the time to me on Lincoln's Live. Yeah, just people responding and you don't even know who they talking to because, you got people blocked or you're blocked. I don't really block people. I think I got like 2 people blocked. No, 4 people blocked. I think I have 4 people blocked. I tell you who they are. If I can remember. I got Jerry Tolliver blocked. I only got Jerry Tolliver blocked because Jerry Tolliver blocked me. And I'm petty like that. If you block me, I'll block you back. I have to know you blocked me. But if you block me, I'll block you back. I have Nathan Ivey blocked because he blocked me. I'm petty. You block me, I'll block you back. If I know. I have Lincoln Ware's daughter blocked because I'm petty. If you block me, I'll block you back. I have, is it Shaba Zulu? I have Shaba Zulu blocked because he didn't block me. He was doing way too much blocking for somebody else, and I was like, I can't deal with it. It's something about the over blocking for somebody else bothers me. So I blocked him. I think that's it. I think those are the only people that I have blocked. So yeah, I don't run around blocking people. I just don't do it. I had Ross Freeman blocked for all of about 30 minutes. That was over that Inez nonsense. Then he called in and said, all right, my bad. And so I unblocked him. But I still haven't unblocked him on here. I haven't unblocked him on Restream because I don't know how. Somebody sent me instructions once, but I'll be busy. When I get off here, I don't sit here for another hour trying to go through and correct stuff. I'm usually, boom, I'm out of here and I'm headed to whatever. Blade and Shaba Zulu are a few others I blocked. Be talking mass S, and I can't never see any of it. Mary says, don't overthink it. Jim, that's funny. Oh, we got Angela in the house. She says, salutations as usual. McConnell says, no, I just work out here. It don't matter. You there. You can stay a little extra for the show. Go to the what do they call it when people get together and watch it? They don't call it group watch. What do they call it? I don't remember what it's called, but you could go to that. Tessie says, I work in Fairfield. That's where I'm listening. Don't matter. You there. It don't matter. You there. Y'all can all get together and watch party. Yeah, y'all can all get together and do a watch party. Thank you, Crystal and Tessie and Scott. Y'all can all get together and, y'all can make it happen. Scott says I should have an afternoon experiment get together. I'm thinking about it. I really am. I'm thinking about it. I think it would be fun. Sean says, whatever. It's a lot of gay dudes in Atlanta. They got rainbow pages. And this was way back, like in the This would have had to been in the 90s. They had the rainbow pages. So, come on. No, I took it back. I took it back. Uh, it's time for Mitch and Feinstein to go home. I didn't see it. I didn't see it, and I want to watch it. I'll maybe I'll look it up if I have a few minutes. Oh, hold on. Let me take this and move it in case I get some calls. I have to be ready for calls. All right. Janice. Oh, Janice in the house. Janice, good afternoon. Good afternoon. We got Jack in the house. Good afternoon, Jack. He said he's checking in from Addison. Crystal says she has block parties all the time. Her list is up over 100. I don't know. I just don't block people. I just don't block people. Daryl says, wait a minute, you and Jerry beefing? Not really. Look, y'all know the story. I'll give you the quick Cliff Notes. Cliff Notes ain't even a thing anymore, is it? I give you the quick version. When they let her go from the job, she was convinced that somehow I knew in advance. And when she asked me and I told her I had no idea, she didn't believe me. And so she told me, don't ever call me again. I thought she was kind of playing. And then I went on Facebook to send her a message about something. And you know how one way you can tell you've been blocked is if somebody is your friend one day, right? And you can send them messages and stuff. And then you go to send them a message and, maybe you're adding to the message that's already there and you go to type it and it won't send. That little red box with the exclamation point in the middle of it pops up. And then you go to search their name and you can't find them. They blocked you. They blocked you. So that was what happened. So I was like, oh, man, I felt bad about it. And I felt bad about it the whole time I was blocking her back. Like, oh, this is a shame. She shouldn't have blocked me for that. Because I didn't know. And I was the whole time just blocking her. So, yeah, now we not beefing. She thought something was true that wasn't true. And once people made up their mind, they done made up their mind. And, if you can't how do you factually prove that you didn't know something that you didn't know that you later found out? There's no way to prove that. If there would have been a way to prove it, because of how I felt about Jerry, because of the love that I have for Jerry, I would have gone through, because I typically don't care what people think. So, hey, man, I think you did this. I'm typically like, I'm going to go ahead and think that. I don't care. But I would have, for Jerry, I would have gone through the motions and everything to prove it. Like, here, I done gathered all the evidence. Here, look at this. Like, oh, you really didn't know. I'm sorry. But there's no way to prove that you didn't know something that you didn't know before you knew it. Like, I didn't know. Prove it. I didn't. There's no way to prove it. So since there was no way to prove it, I just said, all right. And I just blocked back. Because I'm petty like that. He says, don't block me, bro. Drop says, don't block me. I won't block you. I would love it if at some point you would actually answer the question. Let me deal with that for a second. Because I was listening to Wyatt, and Wyatt was kind of making the same point that Drop was making when Drop called in. Remember, Drop called in. And hold on, before I even do that, let me say this. And I don't know if Wyatt is listening, watching or listening. But let me say this, Wyatt. Every time I call in, or not even call in, every time I say on this show or anywhere else, where you got these people trying to convince you to be Republicans. Bro, I'm not talking about you necessarily. I'm not talking about you. Believe, Wyatt, you know this. I know how to say your name. I know how to say your name. I know how to say Wyatt. Randall Wyatt is trying to convince us to be... but that's not... Most of the time, I'm not even thinking about you when I say that. Most of the time, I'm not even thinking about you when I say that. There's a few other people that I'm thinking about when I say it, who, in my mind, they're not valuable enough to say their name. That sounded harsh, didn't it? It did. But it's not. Most of the time, when I say it, there are a few people who in terms of me valuing them as a human. Like, as a human, you have a certain set value just from being a human. It's a little higher than, being a dog. Which is a little higher than being a cat. You know what I'm saying? You got different levels. Like possum and raccoon is under there, you know. So you human, base level human. And then as you become, you know, more, you show that you actually have some additional value to the human race other than just the baseline, he's a human. Your value goes up a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Right? On my scale. So those people, they're human, but they're not worth mentioning. They're not worth mentioning. So when I'm saying it to about them. Not worth mentioning their name. But if I were talking about you, which people could tell you, I don't name drop, but I don't have a problem saying somebody's name when I'm talking about them. What's the difference? To me, name dropping is saying it to give yourself a little clout. Oh, I know this person. Oh, I met this person. Oh, this, all of that kind of stuff. But if I'm talking about you, Wyatt, more times than not, I'll say, Wyatt said whatever, whatever. So yeah, when I say that, I'm not talking about you. All right. So Drop calls in to say, basically, black people should vote for Republicans. Black people should vote for Republicans. And Wyatt's like, because Drop made the same point. The question shouldn't be when somebody black is trying to convince you to vote Republican. The question shouldn't be, what have Republicans done basically to earn my vote? The question should be, what have Democrats done to lose your vote? And if you ask me, that's backwards as F. That's backwards as F. If I come to you telling you, you should do this, whatever the thing is, I think it's a fair question to say, why? You drive a Buick, I drive a Chevy. I come to you and look at your Buick and I say, you should drive a Chevy. And you like, why? What's so great about a Chevy? Well, how dare you ask me why you should drive a Chevy? You should be asking me what's wrong with Buick. That's stupid, in my opinion. That's stupid. You're trying to convince me to change something. Give me the good points about the thing you are trying to convince me to do. Black people should vote Republican. All right. Why? See, that's not a fair question. It's the only logical question, if you ask me. That is the logical question. Why? Any other question is uncivilized. No, any other question doesn't make sense. And Wyatt was saying today, like, no, that's what you should be asking. You've been rocking with the Democrats for this long, and instead of asking, well, why should I be a Republican, you should be asking, well, why did you leave the Democrats? I don't really care why you left the Democrats. It's not like the Republicans are new. The Republicans have a long history, right? So you could, hey, go vote Republican. All right. What have they done? They got a long history that you can look back and you can say, well, they did this and they did that and they did this. You trying to win me over. One more. I drink Pepsi. I don't really drink much pop, but for the example, I drink Pepsi. And the Coca-Cola people are saying to me, hey, you should drink Coke. Why? You should be asking why you leave Pepsi. That's stupid. Tell me what's good about Coke. What's good about Coke? That's what you should be telling me. You trying to win me over. Caller?
Oh, what's up, Emanuel? How you doing, bro?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I wasn't going to call, but since you're totally misrepresenting what I do when I call shows like
hold on,
yours,
this is Drop.
mate.
This is Drop, correct?
Yeah, also known as Black Not Democrat.
All right,
Right,
hold on.
right. But originally, mostly everybody knows me as Drop Squad 52 because the voice is the voice. You know that, right, Emanuel?
Yes, that's that TV show where they hit the thing and turn around.
No. No, we ain't on TV. I'm talking about you're a radio guy. You know how important the voice is.
Oh, yes.
You have to. It's easy to do TV, but it's very difficult to do radio because you have to capture the attention with your voice.
All right.
Not visuals, with your voice. But the reason I called is I have never promoted the Republican Party.
Oh, that's a lie.
In my name, Drop Squad 52, and I explained to you why I used that name. And then when I changed it, I decided to not put Republican in my name at all. But I wanted attention, so I decided to put Black and not a Democrat, because that means that I could be independent, Green Party, Republican, People's Party. I could be a number of other parties other than just the Democrat Party.
Right, but hold on, Drop. But when you listen to you and you do nothing but promote, like I can say I'm not Democrat, but if all I do is promote Republicans and tell you should vote Republican, I'm clearly a Republican. So the attempt to trick us into believing that you're not promoting being a Republican or voting Republican, we not that stupid. That's all I'm saying.
But no, well, again, I don't insult the people that are listening to my voice when I call shows like this because, again, I am not. I can if you claim I'm promoting the Republican Party, and you never hear me talk about the shortcomings of the Democrat Party, then you're not being honest.
No,
when
I hear
you say you've listened to me before.
What I hear you do is I hear you talk about voting for Republicans. That's what I hear you talk about.
Okay. Well, again, I'm telling you right now, if you've listened to me, I talk about the shortcomings of the Democrat Party.
In an attempt to get people to vote Republican.
No, in an attempt to let the people who are listening to me who may not have the courage to say some of the things that I'm saying about the Democrat Party and let them know that if you choose to consider the other party, that is your private choice. When you vote, you are in private. It doesn't matter what you say publicly because you are Black. Anybody who sees you is going to automatically assume at an 88% odds that you vote Democrat.
Well, that's not necessarily true. And hold on, let me be clear. We are all aware that people have a right to choose who to vote for. We all know that. So it doesn't make sense that you're saying you're not a Democrat to let people know especially when you're calling shows where, a good portion of the people are politically aware. So you're not.
That's where Black people are.
You're not telling
Emanuel,
them.
That's where Black people are. They listen to Black radio.
So you're not telling them, or maybe you do. See, I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you really do believe that you're breaking some new ground here and that Black people don't know that they have a right to make a decision which party or which candidate to vote for. I don't believe that to be the case. Just like you seem to think, you say you're not, but you seem to think you're breaking some new ground by being a Black person that doesn't vote for the Democratic Party.
But see, I'm right here on the phone with you.
All right.
You can ask me a question. You know by this time I am articulate enough to explain myself
Well,
and let the people who are listening decide.
well,
Not you listen to me and decide for your audience.
well.
So
Drop.
I'm right here.
Well, drop.
So don't speculate.
Drop.
Ask me the question.
Drop. The last time I tried that, it didn't go so well. I asked a really simple question, and you was on for like a half hour, and you never answered the question.
Okay, all right, okay. So let's do it right now. Let me make sure I rephrase the question correctly. What is it about the Republican Party that makes you vote Republican instead of Democrat? Is that correct?
Yes, that was the question.
Okay, for one, I'll just go back to the last administration. They passed the 2017 Tax Act. That benefited me greatly considering that I retired in 2017. That's just one for
And that's
the
fine.
last Republican administration. Now, if I go back
All right.
to the administration previous to Trump, it was George W. Bush. Now, again, the tax cuts and the deregulation that happened during his 8 years. And then if I went back to his daddy, the previous Republican president and the vice president of 2 terms of Ronald Reagan. So all of that is about economics. And at that time in 1988, I was married, starting a family, so I was more concerned about my money. And that's why I'm telling you, I just so happened to start listening to a political show that happened to be Rush Limbaugh. That's all. That's how I am right now. Because everything after that is me.
All right.
It's me.
And
you know this debate does not happen on radio. It just doesn't happen, Emanuel.
Well, it could if people would do. Normally what happens is what happened the last time. People ask a simple question and they get a long, confusing non-answer. But at least this time, I got to give you credit. You answered the question. Now, what would you say for someone who's not in a position where those tax cuts would benefit them? Where those tax cuts those tax cuts for wealthy people would not benefit them, why should they vote Republican?
Okay, I would tell them to look at your local situation first, because all of your immediate needs are going to come from your local politicians. Now, if they're run by Democrats, yes, you will vote based on those Democrats' agenda, because when Democrats go against each other, they seem to go a little bit more to the right, if you understand what I'm talking about.
I understand.
Just to competition to get voted in.
Yes.
So all I'm saying is, if you like the Democrat agenda where you live, base your presidential vote on that. Because if it's a Republican agenda that your local government is going against that you know will benefit you, when it's time to vote for Congress and your president, look at the Republican Party instead of just staying home because you pissed off at your Democrats.
And what if?
Because they ain't handling your local issue with the national dollars.
And what if Democratic issues, positions, stances, and ideology does benefit you?
Then you vote in your best interest.
Say it. No, say it. What if Democratic ideologies, principles, and positions, what if that benefits you? What party should you vote for?
You should vote for whatever party the city council
come on,
is.
I need you to say it. You didn't have a problem saying, if this, then you should vote for Republicans. If this is this, then you should vote for Republicans. What if the Democratic...
That's what I said.
So what if the Democratic agenda benefits you? What party should you vote for, Democrat or Republican?
Okay, let me repeat that again.
But actually say the word.
Let me repeat it again, because I already said it once.
No, you didn't. I just need you to say
Yes,
the word.
I did. When you asked me what would I tell someone about voting Republican, I said first you start with your local politician.
And I understand. I agree with all of that. That's reasonable and logical.
If it's Democrat,
Uh-huh.
see if it is beneficial for you.
And then if it is,
And then if it is, you vote your
come on. No,
self-interest.
I need you to say it. Vote Democrat. If it is,
I said
then
that already.
no, you didn't.
I said Democrat.
No, you
What?
said Democrat earlier,
Manuel,
hold on. I want you to know. I realize these very small things. I realize the
but
see
how would that
you think
change
you getting
anything
anything
about the
over
overall context?
because it's important. If you want to talk about being open-minded and all of that kind of stuff, it
No,
shouldn't
that's
be
not what I
it
said.
it
See, you're
shouldn't be
going from
hard.
one extreme to the
It
other.
shouldn't be hard
First,
for
you
you
said
to
I'm
say
100% promoting Republicans,
it shouldn't be hard for you to
and now
say
you're
if
saying
you're
I'm
not
telling black
right.
people to be open-minded. Which one is it?
If you are not 100% voting Republicans, then it shouldn't be difficult for you to say, but if the Democratic agenda benefits you, then vote for a Democrat.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Uh-huh.
Most people who vote, okay,
You ain't
they
gonna say
don't
it.
go.
You ain't gonna say it, are you?
No,
You ain't gonna say it, are you?
can I? Wait. Okay, what do you want me to say? You want me to tell? Want me to tell someone who's not happy
No.
with their?
I want
Wait.
you to. No, hold on. Listen. I want you to tell
Mm-hmm.
someone that if the Democratic agenda benefits
Mm-hmm.
them in
Mm-hmm.
most or every way,
Local.
whatever, if it benefits them, then
No,
they
it's
should
not
vote.
whatever.
Then
It's
they should.
local.
Then they should vote Democrat.
If your local representatives are doing what they're supposed to do,
Then they should.
you want your vote
Come on,
to
say it.
keep that in place.
Come on, say
Which
it.
means if they're Democrats,
Uh-huh.
which most black people
Right.
in urban communities
Come on.
are governed by black Democrat councilmen and mayors.
Then they should. Then they should.
If those politicians aren't acting right, the ones that are in office,
Right.
the next Democrat is going to come along and give something to those Democrats that might satisfy them.
So in which case they should vote
to vote for the other person. Or
you
what
just won't
usually
say it.
happens,
You won't say
Manuel.
it.
You
You believe it or not, I know this is a little petty.
What do you want
I'm,
me to keep
hold on.
saying?
I'm being a little petty, but only because
I know
it actually.
you are.
Only
Vote
because
Democrat,
it
vote
actually,
Democrat, vote Democrat, vote Democrat,
There you
vote
go.
Democrat, vote Democrat.
All right, there you go.
but see, I give more credit to your audience than you do. Okay?
Oh, really?
Because most people who listen to these type of shows are very informed,
Right.
very active in media and listening to other people who talk,
Right.
whichever way, because you always hear, well, I want to hear what the other side talking about.
Uh-huh.
So both ideologies, listen if you're that kind of person.
Right.
So all I'm saying is, in 2023, that 88% stronghold that the Democrat Party has on the black registered voters is starting to shift 5 to 8%.
Well, of course, it's going to
Because
shift a
in the past, and I'll wrap it up with this, because in the past, Emanuel, when black Democrats aren't happy, they stay home. They don't switch to Republicans, sir. They stay home. But for some reason, Donald Trump has an effect. And I'm not even going down that road, but it is clear he has an effect on the black and the Hispanic male vote in this country. Okay? It's a reason for that. So all I'm telling you is people like you, Emanuel, your show, that's yours, owned and operated. You control it. Emanuel Livingston. I wish Nathan Ivey was still on the air. All the people that are on corporate, but you guys are giving the corporate radio a run for the money. Because I know, Emanuel, a man coming from corporate radio, you have to feel a sense of freedom. Because you are a communicator.
But okay,
you
now,
have that gift.
Hold on, let's see. Let's
to
put
talk for
hold on,
2-3 hours.
All right, let's hold on. Drop. Let's put the Republican Democrat thing aside for a second. All right. Your understanding, in particular, of the company that I came from, is a completely misinformed therefore flawed understanding. All right? I'm going to tell you right now. When I was at the radio station, they didn't tell me what to say. They didn't tell me what topics to discuss. They didn't tell me what topics I couldn't discuss. They didn't tell me what I could say other than, using profanity. They didn't tell me what I could say or what I couldn't say, what position I was supposed to take or not supposed to take, any of that kind of stuff. I was as free there as I am here. The only difference is if I want to say the F word here, I can say it. Whereas there, I couldn't. That's it. So
Oh, you could say it. You could say it, but it's gonna be a fine coming, and you might get suspended or fired.
right, but my point is, you keep saying like, oh, in this corporate radio, they telling people what to say, and they not free,
It
and they
is
not this,
because
and they
it's
not that.
controlled by
But
the advertisers.
maybe there are
That's why they
certain.
have getting canceled now,
See,
Emmanuel.
again,
They did it when I was
again.
in the military. They had a thing called "Don't ask, don't tell." That's the way corporate media worked. If you don't say it, of course. Oh, I can say what I want.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
because
you,
you know what
I
what
could
you
say what
better
I
not
wanted.
say.
No, but that's
Okay,
just
but
it. The
anyway.
only thing that I better not do was cuss. And actually, a few of them slipped every once in a while, but we got a dump button for that. So yeah, no, I'm just telling you that your take on oh, they have to push this certain agenda and all of that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily true. It's
Okay, I'm not. I'm not. Hey, I'm not even going down that road because I've listened to. Remember, I'm 62, going on 63, so I've listened to a lot of talk radio, urban radio, because again, the talk radio phenomenon really did not start until the 90s. You know that as well as I do. As far as advertisers paying that kind of money for talk radio,
well, that's not true, but
but
I understand what you're saying.
no. Okay, all right. So I hope I cleared up a lot of things. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just want to let you know I do not promote black people to vote Republican.
You do.
I just express myself on my Twitter account when I call in to the different podcasts. I express myself as a black person who is not a Democrat, and I always explain why.
All right.
That's all.
All right.
That's it. It's no hate because I'm always the one that gets hated. I don't know why, but I mean, it's just because I don't go along with the Democrat agenda.
I don't. It's been my
Nobody
experience.
knows me, Emmanuel. This
Look,
is radio. I'm here in California.
But that's just it. It's been my experience that people don't hate you because you're not a Democrat. Nobody hates you because you may annoy people because they can recognize that you're trying to push an agenda while acting like you're not. So you may annoy people, but nobody hates you. Nobody. I don't want to say this to sound like callous or anything, but nobody care enough about you to hate you.
Exactly.
When people, in particular, like you said, people who are aware and who are understand politics to different degrees, hear someone come in trying to pretend like they're not pushing an agenda when they are so clearly pushing an agenda. It's annoying.
Hey,
People would much rather you say, look, I want you to vote for Republicans because I don't like Democrats, than to come in and say, well, get off the plantation and all that kind of. No, just say, I don't like Democrats. I want you to vote Republican. But you'll still be annoying, but it'll be less annoying because then you're not playing with people's, intellectual ability. Like, people see what you're doing. And that's
annoying. No, but see, again, it's all about exercising your right to vote. And in this country, it's private unless you're black. Because in this country, if your skin is black, it doesn't matter where you're from. If they see a black person on the street and say, is that person a Democrat or Republican? What are they going to say 90%, 80% of the time, Emanuel?
I would say more times than not, people would say, they probably don't vote. because
See,
that's the perception that people have
that's
of black people.
intellectually dishonest.
No,
That's just
it's not. It's
intellectually
the truth.
dishonest.
That's the perception that a lot of people have of black people, is that black people don't vote in general. So I would
Okay,
imagine that
all
if
right.
people are walking down the street and they're like, "What party is he?" He probably don't vote.
But if you leave it to Democrats, the only reason they won in 2020 was because of black folks. The only reason Obama got 2 terms was because of black folks.
Well, black
Isn't
folks
it
were pivotal,
ironic?
yes.
Isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic, Emanuel, that the first black president's vice president gets elected and picks the first black female who also is not eligible for reparations? Isn't that some ironic shit for black Democrats?
I
I'm
would agree
out.
with you.
Thanks for taking my call, E-Man. I got to leave on that one, bro. Peace out.
All right. Yeah, I would agree. It is ironic. I'm not exactly sure what it means in the grand scheme of things, but it is ironic. Stephanie says now E won't say Democrat. No, I'm being honest. Davidson, he say quit cussing. I put up the wrong one. I'm being honest. You know what I hear more, even from black people? Black people don't vote. Black people don't vote. Black people need to get out and vote. Black people need to get out and vote. So I think the thought pattern, if you told me, just take a random person walking down the street and you said, what party are they? And you were just judging on because they're black, you probably say more than they're a Democrat, they don't vote. Now, if you had to, put a caveat, let's assume this person votes and is associated with a party. Then, yeah, you would assume Democrat. But I think there are a lot of people in America who automatically assume that black people don't vote. Especially poor black people. They assume they don't vote. We got Andre. Andre says, E, why did you not give a stance on Roe versus Wade when you worked for the Buzz? But when you were fired, you gave us your stance. On the radio, you told us you had to stay out of women's business. It felt like, he posted a second one, like you wanted to share on the radio, but reluctant, in my opinion. I would say, Andre, your recollection of that is wrong. I don't know how many times on the radio station, repeatedly, I gave the same position that I currently hold. My position is now and has been for so long, I am against abortion. I don't think anyone should ever have an abortion. But just because I don't think so, that doesn't mean that people shouldn't be allowed to have an abortion. I think people should have a right to choose. I would so love it if they would choose to not have an abortion. But I said, and this is the same thing I said on the radio, I take the God stance on it. I put before you life and death. I'd rather you choose life. But the idea that we have the choice, we have the God-given choice. I think people should have a choice. But I would rather that they choose life. I said that I don't know how many times on the radio. Now, when I started saying I don't want to get involved in it because it ain't a man's role to get involved in it, that was me being petty to all of the women who didn't like men coming out saying women shouldn't be able to have abortions. But they didn't mind men coming out saying women should have a right to choose. And because my position, when you kind of boil it all down, is that women should have a right to choose. But y'all telling men that y'all don't agree with, they shouldn't have a say. If the men who y'all don't agree with shouldn't have a say, then the men who y'all agree with should shut up and let y'all hash it out on y'all own. That was why I took that position. But not because I wasn't allowed to say how I felt. Because again, I said it, I don't know how many times. So yeah, your recollection of it is just wrong. That's it. That's it. Um, what else? There was something else that I was going to talk about. There was something else that Wyatt brought up that I wanted to discuss, but I can't think of what it is. Stephanie asks the question, do you feel that way if a woman or girl is raped? Yes. I feel that way across the board. Across the board. I would like to think, even in the cases of rape, I would prefer choose life. Choose life. But it's still your choice. And I believe you should have that choice. I believe you should have that choice. But I would say, if I were asked the question, I think you should go ahead and have a baby. Give that little person a chance to be, and then to be someone, and then to achieve, and then to be of service to the world. So that would be my take on it. I think you mean folk capping for a party that has very little diversity in positions of power. Make that make sense. See, I think what Drop said when he actually answered the question makes sense to me. People, I believe, people are concerned about themselves. People are concerned about themselves, first and foremost. And you can't be, or at least me, I don't knock that. I don't knock that. If you put me in a position where I can come up, but everybody else is going to, fall down a little bit, I might come up. Because I got to worry about me. And I might rationalize that, but when I come up, I can help some of them come up. But there's a good chance that ain't never going to happen. But people, for the most part, are selfish. And you can't necessarily be about that. Maybe be against that. So for Drop to actually answer the question, what a Republican? For me, their policies in terms of financial benefits me personally. So I'm going to vote what benefits me personally. How could you be mad at that? How could you be mad at that? And I have more respect for him now than I did before. Trying to trick people. Trying to, on the slide. I'm not trying to get you to vote Republican. I'm just telling you don't vote for the Democrats. Like, come on, we see through that. We see through that. That's why it's like, come on, bro. Just say vote. I think you should vote Republican. Why? Because this is going to benefit me financially. Okay. Be honest about it. And then don't be that hardcore about it, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said on Wyatt Show, at least I typed it, which is the same as saying. Somebody, I didn't say nothing, I typed. When you type and stuff, it's the same as you saying it, just in type written form. That was just a little thing that happened earlier today. I didn't say that, I typed it. That's you saying it, fool. I'm not calling somebody a fool. I don't mean to call you a fool. That was just me being silly. But I said earlier today, I am not a Democrat. I lean left. I lean left because from my perception, and everybody, y'all got to understand this. Everybody has a certain perspective that they look at things from. Everybody does. Everybody has a perspective that they look at things from. Which means you're not necessarily wrong looking at it from that perspective. Obi-Wan said, Darth Vader killed your father, Anakin. And when Luke found out the truth, Luke was like, I thought you said Darth Vader killed him. He was like, look, your father was my friend. I loved him. But when he turned to the dark side, he became Darth Vader. The person who I knew and loved died. So, what I said was true from a certain point of view. I mean, from my perspective, that's what happened. So, your perspective, a lot plays into that. Your morals and your values and how you feel about other people, whether or not people should, you know, receive this, or whether or not people should pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and your financial position, how you was raised, where you was raised, who you were raised around, all of that stuff plays into it. So you're looking at this situation from your perspective, from the mindset that over all of these years you've developed. You might look at it and be like, ain't no reason why no black person should be a Democrat. But some other black person looking at it from their perspective, like, I don't understand why any reasonable black person would be a Republican. And stop, I think we should stop trying to pigeonhole people. Now, I personally don't believe that Republicans care about people. Just general, not rich people. General people. From the poorest man, homeless, sleeping on the street, digging in the garbage can to eat, to, the multi-billionaire who's buying rockets and flying into outer space for fun. I think they care about people. Okay, he got a rocket. He can fly to outer space. I care about that dude. Oh, he's on the stock market and he's doing really good. He's a billionaire. I care about him. He makes six figures. He's got a family, and I care about him. And he's close to six figures. Yeah, and he's got. Well, I don't know if I care about him. He don't make a whole lot of money. And he's in a union, and he has to go to work every day and work hard in a factory. I don't really care about that dude. And then you get to a level where you're like, okay, I kind of don't care about those people, in the general sense of how they doing. I kind of don't care about those people in the general sense of how are they doing. That's my perception of the Republican Party. Well, what about the Democrats? You think they care? Not really. But maybe a little more than the Republicans. And if they don't actually care, I think their policies, even if those policies are just to get votes, their policies make it look like they care. So that's why I'm not a Democrat. But I lean left, policy-wise. I lean left. But in my life, my moral stance and all that kind of stuff, I'm quite conservative. But conservative does not belong to Republicans. Because Republicans are not necessarily conservative. This is my definition of a conservative, or a partial definition of a conservative. And it's my partial definition of what a conservative is. And I say partial because I'm going to give some examples and I can't include every possible example. But the idea that you should live a good, moral, upstanding life, that there are societal norms that we need to follow that's good for the society. The fact that you should be good and honorable in everything that you do. Yes, family values matter, all of that kind of stuff. I think that's conservative. I believe in God. I believe in trying to live up to the standards that the God that I believe in would have me live up to. I think that's conservative. Now, if I run out here, you know, I'm conservative, but I got a wife. I'm cheating on my wife with a porn star and paying her for it. And, you know, I got a few other uh hoes on the side. And, you know, I cheat on my just come on, you know, like you're not a conservative. Just because you say I'm conservative don't make you conservative. So I say the Republican Party does not own conservative because when you look at it, just like Democrats, they don't live a conservative lifestyle. I'm sure some do. Some do. Some Democrats do. Some don't. They don't live a conservative lifestyle. They don't own that. So if you conservative, you a Republican. No, if you conservative, you just conservative. And I think I'm conservative in some areas. In other areas, I'm quite liberal. In some areas, I'm quite liberal. That's why I've said it before. I don't know how many times. I'm gonna say it again. I'm tired of hearing me say it. I agree with Republicans on a lot of different issues. I agree with Republicans on a lot of different issues. I don't necessarily agree with them for the reasons that they believe what I believe, but I do agree. I'm not like I work on trying to be what's the word? Where you try to be like non-offensive and all that kind of stuff. It's something I'm working on. It's something I'm working on. But if you was born a man, I'd be looking at you like, dude, what's up? I'm 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 trans, so really I'm I'm a woman, and I would prefer if you refer to me as like I don't see that. I see a dude. I see a dude with breasts, makeup, and long hair. I see a dude. I don't hate you. See, I think Republicans hate you. That's why they like, no, I'm not gonna call you that. I'm like, I'm probably not gonna call you that either. But it's not because I hate you. It's because I don't like believe science and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I believe you were born a dude, you a dude. But again, I don't hate you. But you would still call him Miss or Ma'am. Maybe. I would probably, instead of doing that, avoid calling them anything. Cause it goes against what I believe. And I'm not gonna go against what I believe to placate what you believe. If that's the right word. I believe you a dude. So I'm not gonna call you a chick. Because you wanna be a chick. Like, I would just call you a person. Who's our waitress? It's a person named Jane. Why would you say that? Is it a man or is it a woman? It's a person. It's a person. But they want to be referred to as a woman. That's fine. They want to be referred to as a woman. And, you know, so I'm going to maybe try to not be offensive and be like, that's a damn man. Shut up. I'm going to maybe not do that. But I'm going to be like, you know, this person will take your order. Why are you calling me a person? Because you're a person. Are you not a person? Are you not a person? How's it offensive being a person? What do you not identify with people? I wouldn't actually say that. I wouldn't actually say that. But it's not out of hatred. It's not out of hatred. Which again, I think makes it different than kind of the mainstream Republicans. I think a lot of what they do is out of hatred, which is why I say the Republican Party is a hate group. Because I think a lot of what they do out of hatred, even though I agree with some of their policies. I don't think trans men should be in bathrooms with, hold on, I want to make sure I'm saying it right. People who were born men shouldn't be in the bathroom with girls and women. I don't think that, but you know, ain't because I hate them. Raven says trans women. If you say so. If you say so. Uh, but it's not because I hate them. It's not because I hate them. So yeah, all of that stuff. All of that stuff. Raven says that's the term you were looking for. I was just giving it to you. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. One of these days, I don't want to say I'll remember it. I was gonna say I'll internalize it, but I feel like if I internalize it, then that means it becomes a part of me, and then I agree with it. But if you was born Jack and you decided your name is Jane, it don't hurt me to call you Jane. Just like if you was born Emanuel and you decided to be called Jim, I would just call you Jim. It don't hurt my feelings to call you Jim. It might be hard for me to remember if you grew up and I knew you and all that stuff as Emanuel, and then just out of nowhere you became Jim. I might forget every once in a while, like, hey, Emmanuel, you don't be calling me. Oh, my bad. My bad. I remember you as Emmanuel. My bad. I have to remember it's Jim. I have to go out of my way to remember that it's Jim. I wouldn't have a problem with it. You changed your name. You were born Wesley and now you want to be called Elijah. Why does that bother me? It don't bother me at all. You were born Cassius and now you want to be Muhammad. Don't bother me. I just got to remember. It's all the same. It's just a name. But gender to me is different. And it's not just a name. It means something. Anthony said, my brother Wyatt says Dems hate capitalism. I guess saying spread the wealth means you hate capitalism. We have to stick to the trickle philosophy. How well has that been working out for folk? Thunderstorms at the top, but small droplets at the bottom. All right. I don't think Democrats hate capitalism at all. It's not even reasonable to me. And I think the idea that Democrats hate capitalism, it's like me saying, look. You got a whole lot of money. And you got these people over here with nothing. I'm not saying you can't make a whole lot of money, but you shouldn't be able to make a whole lot of money off of those people with nothing and then give them nothing in return. And when I say make money, like, oh, I'm going to hire a homeless dude to work at my multi-billion-dollar business and I'm going to pay him nothing. That's not hatred of capitalism. That's just saying, what about humanity? You got more than you'll ever need. Why would you be against giving somebody enough to survive? And that's what, when people like me talk about the Republicans, that feels like. Although I know, it's never that simple. But it feels like that's the Republican agenda. The people with more than they will ever need more. The people with not enough to survive, they got to figure it out. And to me, that feels like hatred for people without. That's what that feels like. Again, it's never that simple. No one said those words. No one said those words. But that's what it feels like the Republican Party does. When you get tax cuts for the, I get economy is complex. So, man, we all cut some taxes for the rich, and then, they'll see that they're making more, which will allow them to do more to help the dude who has nothing. I understand that. We also know that it don't necessarily work out that way. That's just the truth. Doesn't necessarily work out that way. Marquetta say I'm gonna drag both parties because they both the same dang thing criminals. Do you vote, Marquetta? Do you vote? I'm not one of them who tell people you gotta vote or you don't have a voice. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think it's wise for people to vote. But ain't no law say you got to vote. It's like you got a right to vote. You got a right to not vote. Every election since I was 18. How do you make the decision of which criminal to vote for? Jay says, wherever you are, there you are, and you have to work on yourself. Some help is needed, but true betterment comes from within. Well, the fact that you said some help, and then I'll say some help may be needed, I think for the most part, I don't even want to say for the most part, I think one of the reasons why I have an issue with the Republican Party is because they seem to have a problem with understanding that some help may be needed and giving that help. Of course, it's not every Republican don't feel that way. If people want more money, they should learn a valuable skill. Nobody owes you anything, and neither party is going to save you. Take it from the end. Neither party is going to save you. Very true. Hold on, I got a call coming in. Marquetta?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hold on for just a moment?
Yeah, go ahead, finish your thought. I'm listening.
Nobody owes you anything. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. Depending on who you are. I think if you pay into the system does owe you something. The system does owe you something. Exactly what? That could be debated. But if you pay into a system, I think that system does owe you something. So I'm going to disagree with that partially. But in the context that you're saying it, okay, nobody owes you anything. And if people want more money, they should learn a valuable skill. That's sure. Sure, that's simple to say, but everybody's not in a position to learn a valuable skill. Sometimes you get, and people like to overlook stuff like this. Like, look, I grew up a certain way, right? And it's easy to look back on my life and say, well, when I was 3, I could have made this decision. When I was 5, I could have made that decision. When I was 12, I could have made that decision. But at some point, you look at yourself and you're sitting here and you're 29 years old and you got, I don't know what, 6 kids, and you don't have a nice little marketable skill and you need help. And so, well, you should have just learned a valuable skill. You wouldn't be in this position. I'm here now. What can we do right now? I'm working 3 jobs. So I can't just stop doing what I'm doing and go to school unless you can help me do that. Because I would need some help to do that. So you don't want me to get help, but you want me to do what you want me to do. But in order to do what you want me to do, I need help. Well, you should have did it before, but I didn't. We're here now. I need help to learn this valuable skill. Otherwise, Me and my kids ain't gonna have nowhere to live. We ain't gonna have no food. We gonna be out homeless, and then I'm sure as hell not gonna be able to learn this valuable skill. So you can't say to me, go learn a valuable skill. Well, I need some help to be able to do that. Well, I'm not giving you no help, but you should learn this. You know what I'm saying? It's this big circle, and I think people have to begin to realize if we want these people who are in need of this valuable skill that you're talking about, to earn more money and to live a different lifestyle, sometimes we got to help them be in a position and think about it like you think about billionaires. Look, if I help this person, then they earn this valuable skill. They make more money. They pay more taxes. That's more money that we have. That's the way y'all do. Oh, if we give billionaires tax breaks, then they make more money, and then they take that money and they sprinkle that money out, and it helps everybody. It helps the whole society. Think about that with poor people, with people who need help. If you help them, they get those better skills, they get those better jobs, they get more money. Number one, hopefully they can raise their children better in a more stable environment, and then those children become assets to the society and not detriments. And then number two, they make more money so they can pay more into the society so that we can help other people, and it helps even the billionaires is going to make more money because they got more money to buy more stuff. It works both ways. But I understand the point that you were making. Marquetta.
Hi, Emanuel.
How you doing?
Calling to be contrary. Because I've been arguing with you for years. I've always felt that you have said from the bottom of your heart what you meant, because I ain't never agreed with most of it.
That's terrible.
But there are third-party options when there is a presidential election. And I'm not saying, I've been voting, I've always got that question from y'all, do I vote? I've been voting since I was 18. I didn't even know you had, my mama and them make me vote. I remember my mama and them tried to make me vote for Obama, and I wouldn't do it. She cussed me out. But the point is, are you familiar with Cornel West?
Yes.
Do you know that he's running as a third-party option for president?
Actually, I don't know why I thought he was running potentially as a Democrat, but I knew he was running.
He's running as a third-party, independent Green Party. And usually when you vote Green Party or independent, it is a protest vote because it's like, who's going to vote for Cornel West? You know what I mean? But I'm not voting for Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm sure not about to back Biden and Kamala again. And that would be my protest vote. And I think that we lose sight, we so focused on being black, we lose sight that we are Americans and we're protected by the Constitution, all of those amendments, all of the Bill of Rights. So I have the right to, if I don't like it, I have the right to protest. I have the right to cry and complain. That's the beauty of our country. You can't do that in Saudi Arabia. If you don't like the prince and them, you say something, you might get flogged or beheaded.
I don't know that to be true because I've never lived in Saudi Arabia. It is what we're told, so, okay.
Well, I'm just saying in certain places they have restrictive law where if you break a certain law against a political class, they get extreme. Right now in Gabon, in Africa, they just had another military coup. They overthrew the president. The president been the president, him, his daddy before that. They've been the president for the last 42 years. The people of Gabon, like, we're not getting nothing out of you. We need you to go. You know what I'm saying? But they still have an election and choose themselves. With Black Americans, we can't allow the anti-woke agenda of people saying, we racist now. We the racist now. Oh, I heard my brother yesterday say something real sick. He said all that redlining and bullshit. Redlining is real. That's how you got the racial wealth gap. Your Department of Housing, the FHA loan system, the GI bills, your government, the people we talking about so bad and so good, they created a system that said Black people would not own houses. We would create ghettos for them. It was explicitly racist towards Black Americans. It wasn't built for Chinese. It wasn't built for immigrant Asians. It was built for Black Americans. Black Americans were denied the GI Bill, etc. We have the right as Americans to say that's wrong and we need something to fix it. Now, when you say which criminal would you vote for, Biden actually did something recently to address that. They just kicked in, maybe 2 years ago, they just kicked in federal dollars to fix or redress what happened with redlining, to kind of pump Black people up into housing and get us somewhat stable, because that's where majority of America's wealth lie, is in home ownership. But in New York City, I got an activist friend up there. She said the New York City Metropolitan Housing Association is going to take $80 billion to fix. Republicans may not want to fund that, but they don't mind funding corporations and not taxing them. So if I'm a corporation and I'm paying zero tax dollars, yeah, I'm going to vote Republican. Yes, I'm going to fund with the Koch brothers. Yes, I'm going to fund that agenda that's good for my pocket. Do you? But as a Black American, I got every right to boo DeSantis when he come and try to buy people off, buy families off, after he done set up and said this anti-woke bullcrap and these schools need to be replaced with Prager University telling you that, slavery was everywhere. Slavery was not everywhere. Slavery was in America. America got richer than everybody off the backs of slaves. Black people. And you can't rewrite history to make it sound like, but they learned a valuable skill and they was able to be Frederick Douglass and that's because of their own ingenuity and their own free will. If you not had imposed slavery, this group of people might have been even better than what they are today. The point I'm getting to you is you have to have both sides in order to come to a conclusion. It's true. If you're fed one side all day long and you don't hear an opposite, you're going to come to the conclusion of whatever that propaganda is. But it's good to have a balance. That's why we have a balance of powers. That's why you have the elections, in order for everybody to kind of put their, name in the hat. And it's going to be people who are going to protest. That is all right. Okay, that's all I had to say.
All right. I agree with you. And I think one of the things, because when you talk about having that balance in terms of the conversation, I think I'm all for a balanced conversation, hearing all sides. What bothers me is kind of what I was talking about. Drop is, all right, you listen to, because you know me, I like to call names. You listen to Lincoln Ware, you listen to the Buzz. They're clearly promoting the Democratic Party. I mean, he says it, vote for the Democrat, He's clearly promoting the Democratic Party. Whether or not I believe he's actually a Democrat, that's beside the point. He's clearly promoting the Democratic Party. But then you get people who come on and instead of being honest on the other side, saying, no, vote for Republicans, because then they pretend like they not really for Republicans. They're just, not. And it's like, come on, we see the game you playing. Just be honest and say what you might actually have some good points about Republicans that might change my mind if you just genuine and honest about it, because I'm listening to hear. But, I find that a lot of times, and it's like, it's across the board. They talk negatively about Democrats instead of saying what Republicans are doing that might win my vote. And sometimes they're actually offended when you ask the question, well, why should I vote for Republicans? Like, how dare you ask me that question? You should be asking what's wrong with it. No, that don't make sense. So that's my only issue with it. I like hearing both sides.
And I think Black people, once you hear both sides, you find that it's just like you said, I might like Pepsi, you might like Coca-Cola. But a doctor going to tell you, don't drink Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Right. It's bad for your pancreas. You're going to get diabetes.
Good for you. Yeah, you're
right. And neither one of them no good for you. You're going to get pancreatitis and you're going to get diabetes too, and possibly die of an early age because you're drinking something that's not water. So as Black people, we that pancreas. How are we being harmed? How much sugar are we taking? You're now telling us that racism doesn't exist. Then I have to say this. You're telling me a man who sat down and wrote a letter in his mama and daddy house that he hated black people, put on a bulletproof vest, went to a black college. They told him to leave. So he went to a black neighborhood store, barricaded the people in the store with a gun that had a swastika drawn on it. You telling me he mentally ill?
Well, yeah, he's
But
mentally ill.
huh?
It's definitely not because of race. It's got to be
I mean,
because he's mentally ill.
he had both of his parents in the home. He came up most likely in private schools. He most likely had to travel to Jacksonville, Florida, because there weren't many black people around him that he could plot on and attack. That's a sound, competent mind. That's somebody with ops. And it's what you said the other day when we talked about the mental health as a group of black people. We have to stop ignoring the fact that we have mental psychosis. You could go to California right now and see mass mentally ill black people and white people tranked out on drugs. And it's a problem. When you talk about Republicans, most black people don't mess with Republicans because of Reaganomics. Reaganomics destroyed us, and all the things that previous presidents tried to put into law to help redress some of the stuff we've been through, Reagan came to take it, including this, doing away with mental health asylums and stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to get is black people are neither Republican or Democratic. We are black Americans, and we are not to be defined by our political party, because that can change. Our issue is our policies. What policies help us? What policies hold us back? And it don't matter. Like Vivek Ramaswamy is just like Bobby Jindal, just like Nimrata and the rest of them. They come here and they say, I ain't never had no problem. I'm brown. Look at me. I ain't never had. And you ain't never had no law written against you. You ain't never had Jim Crow. You've never been denied housing, jobs because you got nappy hair. You've never had that experience. So for you to come here and dog whistle racists and tell them how great America is because you were able to make it, without also saying, I got my college degree was funded by George Soros's brother. That's how I got $1 million in order to go to college. When my parents got here, they were not broke. My father was a patent lawyer and my mother was an accountant, and they had a valuable skill. So they were able to get into the country and make money quickly. That type of thing needs to be addressed. And that's the purpose and point of the freedom of speech and the freedom of press, for us to talk about stuff with knowledge, knowing what we're talking about, because the press has investigated it and we've had the ability to read it and vie it against other information. Don't lose sight of your rights as a black American in this country. It's not just that we crying and complaining. Actual terrible stuff has been done to us by our government, both sides. Okay, I'm going to listen to you offline. Thanks, Emanuel.
Oh, before you go, Marquette.
Huh?
Before you go, cool. The P is silent.
What?
Huh?
What?
Cool. It was a coup, not a coupe. It was a coup.
Oh, you know I'm from Avondale, A1, and apparently me going to public schools, I don't understand what a coupe d'etat is. I think it's a Mercedes coupe. They all got in a Lexus SC400, and they drove off, period. That's the truth, because you have no other information available to you. Have a good day, man.
All right, Marquetta. Y'all know that was bothering me the whole call. Like, I was listening to everything she said and, hearing it and all that stuff. I was. But she said coupe at the beginning of the daggone thing. I didn't want to stop her because she was going. And I like it when she calls, even though she don't be agreeing with me, which I don't understand. I don't understand. But even though she don't be agreeing with me, I like when she calls. Always have. Always have. But y'all know I couldn't. Y'all know that was bothering me. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. I want to talk a little bit about this story about the girl who allegedly a group of people had stole stuff from the Kroger and she was in the car and she got shot. But I feel like I don't have enough information. I feel like I don't have enough information. So I kind of don't want to talk about it. But at the same time, I was listening and I heard a guy on the white station, 700, Scott Sloan, talking about it's a war on cops. It's a war on cops. And it bothered me. So I'm gonna get a few more details about this just from like the bird's eye view of the story that I've heard. Because again, I didn't get a chance to go read about the story because I heard about it this morning on my way to work. And then, of course, I was at work and then I came straight home and went live. But, man, what? I want to be sensitive because y'all know me. I'm trying to be more sensitive. Trying to be more sensitive. Trying to get my Ralph Tresvant on. But why would you jump in front of a car? Like, how do I say it and be sensitive? Move. Instead of pulling your weapon and shooting somebody through a windshield because they put it in drive and start going, if you got time, room, space to move, move. You can get her later. Y'all gonna see who she is. Y'all know y'all catch these people. And if not, okay, she got away with some alcohol. Because that's what they claim that she stole. Again, this is the bird's eye view. This is the bird's eye view. Maybe when I look into it, there'll be more details. And he was in a position where he wasn't allowed, he couldn't move, and she was going too fast and all of that kind of stuff. Even if somebody driving at you 80 miles an hour and they're close enough where you can shoot them and kill them, and you don't get hit, you had room to move. But again, this is bird's eye. I feel like you had room to move. If your option is move out the way, let the criminal who, and Scott kept bringing up, she was only 21 and she was pregnant with her third child. Initially, he was kind of subliminally suggesting that she was some hood ghetto chick until he almost outright said it. Maybe you need to think about not having 3 children at the age of 21. Don't matter. Don't matter. But I'm gonna capture this girl who stole alcohol from this store by any means necessary. Even if that means killing her. She ain't getting away. She wasn't necessarily a danger to society, so if she got away, she wasn't a serial killer. Like, she didn't walk into a church and open fire on a congregation full of black people. She went into Kroger, bird's eye view still, allegedly. That's Wyatt's word. She allegedly went into Kroger and stole some alcohol. Move. Move. Am I saying she's right? No. No. People shouldn't be stealing from people. I don't like that. I don't agree with that. Never have. Probably never will. But move. And then you don't have to kill her. There's another spider. I wonder if I can get him with this. Sorry, y'all. Hold on a second. Got him. All right. Um, he shouldn't have been in here. He shouldn't have been in here. He don't pay no rent. But no, you just move. You just move. Let it be that. Oh, she got away. Jason said, you got a lot of bugs in your house. I bet if you were in an unfinished basement in your house, you're going to find a spider or two. Come on, spiders is everywhere. Spiders is everywhere. uh, the electrified racket is loud. It is loud. So you know it's doing something. Not only is it loud, you get that light popping off of it. But yeah, move. You move. Oh, you don't shoot the person and kill them. Shoot the person and kill them. But again, I got to look at the story. I'm bird's eye view. But I don't like that. I don't like that. Don't minimize what I'm saying about this woman to make a point about that spider. That spider brought it on itself. Oh, let me say this. Oh, no, I got to say this. Because people was mad at me. People were mad at me. I posted y'all seen the thing where the coach, I don't have no details, but you see the coach was fussing at the kid and then he punched him in the stomach real quick. And I posted, hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. I know we done all seen it. Well, maybe we haven't. I've seen it. Let me see, Facebook. That's where I saw it. I saw it on Facebook. Let me go to my page and go to my posts. Oh, come on. I might have to get me a Mac. Another Mac, I guess I should say. Not that one. Not that one. Should be. Come on. Come on. Not that one. This one. See if I can select that. Is that as big as I can get it? That's what she said. Looks like it don't look like I can all right, stop it. We're gonna put this on the screen. I can I can make it bigger. It get bigger, but that's as big as I can get it right now. Oh, I don't know what is wrong. What is wrong with y'all? So this is the this is the video, and I don't think there's any audio. There might be audio with it, but if y'all can see that, hold on. Let me take the chat down real quick. That'll make it a little bigger. You got all the tricks. Got to use all the tricks you got to make it bigger. So, and the coach comes over. He fussing at the dude, and he punched him in the stomach real quick. It's going to loop. Y'all going to see it again. There he is. He fussing, mad, punch in the gut. So one more time. Coach standing there, he fussing, mad, punch the little boy in the gut. All right. And I posted, I posted, I think the player might have brought it on himself. And people got all mad. Look, y'all, a few things. First and foremost, of course, the player didn't bring it on himself. Clearly, the player didn't bring it on himself. Why do y'all get so bent out of shape over nonsense like that? Clearly, the player didn't bring it on himself. No matter what he did, there's no reason for the coach to sock him in the gut. All right? Secondly, I did watch it a few times. I saw my brother posted some comments about it. I did watch it a few times. The coach was wrong. Let me say that. In my opinion, coach was wrong. It don't matter to me what happened. Don't matter to me what was said, what play was missed, or whatever the case was. In my opinion, the coach was wrong. Just go socking little boys in the stomach. He's wrong. At the same time, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. The little boy played it up a little bit. He got socked in the gut. He was wrong. I mean, the coach was wrong. He didn't hurt the little boy that much. They say he was arrested. Okay, cool. I'm not against him being arrested, charged, all that good stuff. I'm not against any of that. He shouldn't get any jail time. Some probation. That's about all he should get. Some probation. But he should be charged. Charge him, give him some probation. Maybe he's not even allowed to coach anymore. Make him not allowed to coach anymore. I'm okay with that. Again, when I used to coach youth football, I learned that a lot of them people shouldn't be coaching. A lot of them coaches that y'all see out there, that they giving their time, they doing what. That's all good. A lot of them don't have the temperament. They tell them kids to do stuff that they ain't got no business doing. I remember once I heard a rumor. That the coach of the team that I was helping coach was teaching the kids bad tactics. Like when you tackle a kid and when you got him on the ground, there's a pile of people. If you under the pile and the ref can't see it, punch him in the legs. Try to punch him in the nuts. Coaches are actually teaching kids this stuff. This I know, because one of the things that I did from time to time when, the team that I was coaching had either finished playing or before our game started, I would work the sticks. So I'm on the other team's sideline, with the down marker or the first down sticks. And I would hear some of this stuff. Look, I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you, I would hear coaches instruct kids to do all kind of horrible stuff. If he under there and it's the pile, punch his legs, pinch his legs, punch him in the nuts, do all kind of stuff. They would tell him to cheat, all of that stuff. Do things to hurt people. Drop your head, hit him with the top of the helmet. If you hit him in the chin with the top of your helmet, you might break his jaw and then he won't be able to play. I for real heard a coach say that to his kids. Because he was running like crazy on them. They wanted him out the game. Hurt him. Get him out that game. So all of these coaches, I'm not saying all of them do that. I'm saying every coach you see out there does not necessarily have the skill, the stability, emotionally, mentally, the ethics to be out there coaching little kids. They don't. So I think there should be, it's kind of hard because you got people volunteering to help little kids. But there should be some sort of, oh, sorry, let me put the chat back up. I had to take the chat down to make that bigger. There should be some sort of licensing or something you have to go through to be a coach. As it stands right now, you can just walk in and say, I want to coach. And if they need somebody to coach, you can coach. Hold on, what you? Who are you pointing at? You, whoever you are. Those are the standards for a lot. Now, I don't know about every league. Some leagues might have, like you have to do a background check or anything like that. When I coached, wasn't no background check. Wasn't no nothing. I was out there and my son was playing and I saw that they didn't have enough people. And I said, y'all need some help? And they were like, sure. And I was a coach. That quick. Nobody, have you ever played before? No. Nobody even asked that till later on. Did you ever play? No, I never played organized football. No. Have you ever molested a kid? Nobody asked. There were no standards. Here, we got to do a background check. Make sure you are allowed to be around children. Nothing. Daryl says, come on, computer. E-Man, there is a class you have to take to be ferried to be a youth football coach. I had to take the class. I took my class at Madisonville Rec Center. Now, there might be a class that maybe some organization says that you have to take, but every organization is going to have their own different standard. Like, there's not to my knowledge, and maybe things have changed. This was, when I coached was, how long ago was that? It was well over 20 years ago. So maybe they've changed some stuff. That wasn't 20 years ago. But it was a long time ago. So maybe they changed some stuff. But it wasn't no certification in the league that I was coaching in. None. Y'all need some help? Yeah. They gave me a shirt with my name on it. I think I still got the shirt. So, maybe he shouldn't be able to coach anymore. He definitely shouldn't go to jail. Hamilton, I coached Hamilton Little Blue. Yeah, Coach Jim. Stop. Why are you getting me laughing about that again? It's so funny to me. I coached at Hamilton. Late 90s, early 2000s. But I heard a rumor that the coach was telling the kids, this was for one of the playoff games against Edgewood. They were supposed to be real good. And I heard a rumor that he was telling the kids to, use some dirty tactics. I don't remember exactly what he was telling them. Something about people's legs, but I don't remember. I heard that as a rumor. So I had to call the coach. Like, hey. I said, I don't want to accuse you of anything. I don't want to accuse you of anything. But I heard that you were telling the kids to hurt kids. And, he heard me out. Like, nah, I don't go with that. So, we need to have this conversation and blah, blah, blah. He heard me out and he said, how long have you known me? And I said, about 5 years. And he says, everything that you know about me, do you really think that I would tell a kid? Okay, I just heard a noise. I'm going to end the show. I don't know what just happened upstairs. So you think I would tell a kid to hurt another kid? I said no. And he said, I would never do that. We talked about it, and that was that. And it was a good game. But he shouldn't be able to coach. I'm going to go see what just happened. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's time for me to sign off anyway. I don't know what just happened. I might have broken the house for all I know. Until next time. Oh, if you out there around and about with people, be the reason somebody smiles today. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace. I only decided to come back because I didn't want to leave y'all hanging like that. Uh, I think Mrs. Livingston brought in some groceries or something like that, and then accidentally knocked something off the counter, and that was the noise. So everything is fine. Everything is fine. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.